Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. Apparently, I was a little cruel and mean to a famous YouTuber in the finance space, Chelsea Fagan from the Financial Diet. And the reason I was cruel, unusual, and disgusting was because I called her a childless socialist. Which, I thought I said child-free, but whatever. But it's 100% true. She's a socialist, at least from what I've got from her videos. And I'm not going to watch all her videos and find specific examples, but trust me, she sounds very liberal to me. And she's childless. So that description is 100% accurate. But I saw this comment on my video where I talked about the top 10 finance YouTubers list exposed. Because Chelsea Fagan and the Financial Diet were listed on there as one of the top 10 finance YouTube channels. Now, do I think Chelsea Fagan is a evil, nasty, disgusting person? Do I hate her? No, I don't. She's mostly like an innocuous personal finance girly girl channel, okay? I don't really care. But there's some things about her channel that really rub me the wrong way. I'm dead serious. There's two things that bother me. Number one, the child-free, and number two, the socialist. Now, why do I not like either of those terms? Well, they actually kind of go together. And the hypocrisy of those two words being next to each other, child-free and socialist, is out of this world insane, okay? Child-free means you intentionally choose not to have children. You intentionally. It's not like, oh, we can't conceive. Oh, we tried, but whatever. No, you literally say, I just don't want to have kids so I can, backpack Europe and do whatever. That's child-free, okay? There's a difference between childless and child-free. And if you can't have kids, I feel sorry for you. I really do. But child-free is a totally different category. But she really bothers me. So let's read this comment, and then I'm going to explain my how I feel about this whole subject in more detail, so you guys firmly understand what I think about a lot of these femgirl, feminist YouTubers that are in the personal finance space. And my feelings are they're full of crap, and you shouldn't listen to them. So let's read this comment from Mr. Harry Holmes here. Your criticism of Chelsea Fagan as a childless socialist, she is, wow. You're being honest, but wow. My advice is to keep the criticism aimed at the content of their financial advice. Well there, Harry Holmes. Usually when you want to look up to an authority, somebody that understands finance, you want them to have lived and experienced a life that actually fits the average person's life. Does the average person live a life like Chelsea Fagan's? No. She's childless, child-free, excuse me. She lives in France, I think. The last time I watched one of her videos, she was. And she runs a channel, a massive YouTube channel, and makes a lot of money. Is that anything like the average person? No, the vast majority of people still have children, okay? It's a lot harder to be a successful creator when you have kids. I can attest to that, okay? I'm in my freaking garage right now because I have 2 kids. It's a lot harder. So for these people to talk about personal finance and teach you about budgeting and this and that, they have no idea what it's like to be an actual grown-up with children. They have no clue the extra expenses that come with that. Now, they can see it on paper, but they haven't actually lived the experience, okay? And when you're coming from a perspective of not even living an experience, it doesn't make sense to me. How can Chelsea Fagan tell me how to manage my money, okay? It makes no sense. She has no idea what my life is like. But whatever, she's a strong, empowered woman, and I'm just a mean loser in my garage. How is her being childless relevant at all? Massively relevant when it comes to children are a huge impact on personal finance. The reason these people can retire early and build wealth really quickly is because they don't have kids. Okay, you know how rich I would be if I didn't have kids? If I didn't have a wife? I'd be so rich, oh my God. It's a totally different thing. Okay? She has no connection to the average person. She appeals to like young girls that are like, I don't know if I want cats. Oh my God. It's like, that doesn't apply to the average person, okay? You're entitled to your opinions, of course, especially on political leanings. But your criticism of her as childless is GD Stone Age. It's not Stone Age. It's actually very important that people have children. And I'm going to show you why, okay? Maybe she can't conceive. False. Maybe she doesn't want to have children. True. And she wants to lecture you about personal finance. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? If she was just child-free and then didn't, deign to understand personal finance, what would I have to say? Okay, you're child free. I think that's stupid for a variety of reasons. And I think that is selfish in the broad scheme of things. But I mean, I wouldn't be making a video or talking about her, okay? But the fact that she gives financial advice is ludicrous, especially because she has socialist leanings, which I'll show you why that's stupid in a second. She shares her personal situation because that's who she is. Yeah, and people watch her and they take advice from her, even though her situation doesn't match their situation. That doesn't and shouldn't undermine her financial advice. It does. But if that's the best thing you have to throw at her, maybe she actually does have something worthwhile to say. Now, I'm sure she says a lot of good stuff, okay? But, like, I wouldn't want my daughter watching somebody like this. Like, oh, I'm child-free, and oh, look, I'm such a great example. Like, oh, no. Watch, like, a normal woman that has kids, actually has a family, and, like, managed to budget with a family. That's something I'd rather have my kids watch when they're older. My daughter's 1 year old. But God, imagine her, like, getting into your kids' brains. But anyway, so let's look at a couple other channels. So there was this comment here, you know, and then I've talked, well, maybe I put this girl in the thumbnail. There's Bravely Go, Sustainable Finance. Bravely is a feminist financial education company that believes in order to give the best financial advice, we need to talk about all the challenges real people face. Real people. I mean, she's a real person, obviously. But she's one of those child-free girls, okay? It's somewhere on here. She has a video. She's like, I'm child-free and blah, 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 blah. How is... this is not real world. This is fake world, okay? What is she going to teach? What is this girl going to teach you? I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be like... I'm not saying she's a horrible person, but what is she going to freaking teach you? About managing money. Imagine some girl, I don't have any kids, and me and my husband both work, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's so easy to save money. It's just, don't pay off your debt. It's so easy, yeah. Shut up. Oh, I have so much money saved. Look at me, you. Wow. Good job. I have to bust my butt to make ends meet. And max VT, max my tax advantage accounts. But if I was child-free, I wouldn't even have to do half the crap I do. Okay, so here's Chelsea Fagan. What you should never say to a child-free woman. So let's listen to her accomplishments. And I want you to listen. If you were an average woman that did have children, would you be able to accomplish this? I mean, maybe you probably could, but it would be way harder to do. Okay, let's listen to this clip.
Of self-actualization. I moved to a foreign country and lived there for several years. I speak more than one language. I made a career as a writer and had my first book published when I was 23 years old. I founded my own company, which now employs 8 women and creates tons of work and opportunity for many others. And I did
sexist. What about men?
This all without any kind of college degree or inherited wealth, which is probably the thing that makes it the most statistically unusual. And I don't say any of this stuff to be braggadocious about myself, because for the most part, I think that I'm a product of privilege like most other people who have entered that level of professional or personal success.
Do you see why she's a liberal? I'm privileged, oh my God. But listen to this, okay? Listen to her accomplishments. Okay, yeah, she has accomplishments. I'm not going to take that away from her. But if you were a normal person that had children, that's a lot harder to do, okay? But, oh, I want to be like her. She's an example. You'll never be like her. And if you do, it's going to be 20,000 times harder, okay? And then here's another child-free. I typed in child-free fire, and this girl popped up. And I was looking at her channel, and she talks about, like, her net worth. She's like, oh, my net... Yeah, I watched this video. Her net worth's like $127,000. And she's like, I'm child-free and this and that. Oh, wow. You're child-free and you're able to save a bunch of money. Impressive. How do I emulate you? Oh, wait, I'll never be able to because you have an inherent advantage over the average person for saving money. Why would you listen to them? Now, here's where, like, I really get pissed about these childless socialists, okay? Which is that's what they are. Okay? You can tell she's a socialist, okay? I don't know her exact beliefs, but I've watched her videos in the past, and I kept hearing, like, she would, like, say things and spin things a certain way, and it's like she wants socialism. Like, even in this video, she talks about, you know, women don't get a lot of benefits when they have children. Yeah, you'd have to have taxes and a social program to fund that. She's definitely a socialist. And then obviously this girl right here, Bravely Go, Sustainable Finance. Yeah, she's probably a socialist, okay? Here's why I think, number one, what they say doesn't apply to you, and they give you a false sense of accomplishment. They give you, they're false role models, okay? If you want to fire early, if you want to retire early and be fire, these aren't the people to watch. At least watch people that have kids, okay? It's like somebody, they inherited $10 million and they're lecturing you about having money. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But these women don't match the average person. About 1% of women over the age of 40 are child-free. 1%. Meaning they don't have kids and they report having a zero-child ideal. About 2 to 4% are ambiguous, okay? And then about 15% of women over 40 have no children. So 85% of women do have children, which massively impacts your finances and makes it a lot harder to accumulate wealth. And out of those, only 1% are child-free, like intentionally child-free. This is a minority. This is fake, okay? These are fake lifestyles. This is not the average person. This is fakery, okay? Now, I always go back to like the socialist thing, and it's like, well, I don't understand these socialists that don't have kids. So you look at the birth rate of the United States, right? This is the total fertility rate. It's basically how many kids on average the average woman has. The average woman should have 2.1 kids, is from what I understand, to maintain a level population. So you can see here it's below 2.1. So our population pyramid is actually, well, it would be shrinking without immigration. But it's below replacement level. So if we had no immigration, every generation it would decline by, I don't know, 20-something percent, basically. The size of the generation would decline by 20% every single generation if the birth rate stayed like this and we had no new immigration. That's actually a problem when it comes to socialist policies. And these women are all, oh, we need child care, we need free child care, we need Social Security, we need Medicare, we need this and that. Where do those programs come from? They come from working taxpayers. Who finances the programs? Working taxpayers, okay? Let's read about Social Security. How does Social Security actually work, okay? Well, on the left, we have people that are working, 174 million. They pay payroll taxes, and that money flows to the Social Security Administration, and then they transfer the money to people that are retired. It's a transfer system. Working people pay taxes, and the money goes directly to old people. That's how it works. Now, if there's an excess, it gets parked away in the trust fund, okay? But over time, as the working population shrinks because of people like this, and the retired population gets larger, which happens when you have low birth rates and child-free lifestyles celebrated, this program comes under stress. So how could a socialist be child-free or support that movement or even proselytize it sounds like, on their channels? It doesn't make any sense. These programs rely on children. You have to have children. And you know what really irks me? These intentionally child-free people, they're basically enslaving your kids. Because what's going to happen is your kids and my kids are going to work and pay payroll taxes, and they're going to give them money. That's right. Your kids will pay taxes to give her money who never had kids. It's ridiculous. Oh, these people, man. Same thing with Medicare. Oh, socialist program. Oh, we need Medicare for all. Everybody needs health care, right? Well, where does Medicare's funding come from? It comes from general revenue, from taxpayers. It comes from payroll taxes, working people. And the rest comes from, 15% comes from premiums, old people paying their premiums. And other sources, 7%, whatever that is, okay? But look at that. The vast majority of Medicare comes from payroll and general revenues. Working people. If you don't have kids, these programs fail. So here she is like, oh my God, we need social programs. It's somewhere on here. What was she talking about? The U.S. is the only country among 41 nations that does not have mandated any paid leave for new parents, according to data. We need more and more and more and more social programs, but I'm not going to have kids, and those kids pay for the programs. Somebody else is going to pay for it. Your kids will pay for it. It's ridiculous, okay? So that's why it bothers me. So, it's like taboo to criticize, anything people like this do. Like, they're just perfect and amazing, and if you criticize them, you're a bad person. But I just don't understand how you can listen to somebody like this, or like this, or like this, when they don't, like, their lifestyle has nothing to do with the vast majority of people. That's all I meant, okay? So if you're mad about it, I don't know what to tell you, okay? But yeah, keep supporting Childfree, and then keep wondering why your Social Security check's going to be a lot lower. Oh, why the Social Security check? I don't understand. It's just the government's fault. It's the rich people's fault. Yeah, it's not having freaking kids. That's the reason why. All right, have a wonderful day.